Alright, welcome back. I'm not sure if this is going to be a separate video or not, because the previous one had problems with lagging and stuttering, so I hope that wasn't too terrible. Last time I walked you guys through, well, this is the same day, by the way, for me, just like a few hours later. I walked through some of the stuff I made. I think I walked through pretty much every code thing I had, except maybe the gate, but it only sets the frame and color mask. I might go over it again in case the previous video is unwatchable. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it terrible. It's just that I'm using FFmpeg, not OBS, because OBS was having problems with color and I'm always having some issues here. In any case, there's one debug thing I want to get rid of. It's probably here. Oh, where's this down thing? Oh, there it is. Move vector down, that's alright, I remember. I was testing the joystick. So I meant to walk through making an NPC. So I'm going to walk through how I approach making new objects. As I've mentioned previously, I don't use object-oriented programming, and we'll be adding an NPC somewhere here. So I'm going to make a new scene, 2D scene, change this to character body. I'll call this NPC. We'll put that in code here, NPC TSCN, and we have to add probably an animated sprite and area, collision shape. I'll place this here, and I'm gonna make a rectangle shape, and here I set the size to 32. I want them to move around, not too much. Saving, animated sprite, animation. We make new sprite frames, we have defaults here. I already have an atlas. So there should be, this is the enemy I want to work on. And this is NPC frames, placeholder art, right? Size 32. Vertical. We have 5 vertical frames. This is down 1, 2, 3, 4, and up, side, extra 1 and extra 2, in case I need some extra animation frames so that it's easier to integrate. And I'm probably going to have to do this, right? Yeah. So let's do this down. We'll add a new animation. This is going to be up. This is going to be side. and this is going to be extra 2. Can I move this down? No? Oh, doesn't matter. So let's move it up, same as before. Okay, this was up. Let me just add them like this. We have to create this setup. So the side is going to be mirrored horizontally, so we only need one. Extra is just extra. Might need it, might not. Now we have these, and I'm gonna add one more, and we'll call it standing frames, which are going to be the first frame of every animation. So up down, side, and extra. Maybe not extra. Maybe not extra. Or the second one, depends on how I will set this up, but for now this is going to be good enough. So we have our little guy here. I'm going to show you how exactly and I have to set floating, otherwise this thing will do weird stuff. And now npc.gd. Oh, it usually makes a template. It didn't this time. So maybe we will actually want to save this object. So as I explained previously, what this is going to do is make sure that whatever is here is going to be stored automatically, basically, when the scene enters. And all we need to do is write an activate function, player interacted with NPC, and that's pretty much it, how we activate NPCs. The code to spawn a dialog box will be here, so we will probably want something like text or something, yeah, you know. Okay. Set auto read for Vim so that I don't have to load everything manually. And like it's an NPC pretty much. It's just a standing NPC. I'm going to have to set this animated sprite play. Standing frame or standing frames? What did I call this? Frames. Okay. Standing frames 0. Wait. Or was it set animation? I think it was set animation. Hang on. Animated sprites set frame 0. This sets the standing frame. object ID. Okay, I'm going to have to check this function. If wrong. So I need to make sure it has all of them. Okay. Found equals. I'm thinking how to do this properly. If any of them match, right? Continue. Return found. This should work, I guess. Okay, this should work. Oh. Let me check the level if... Yeah, okay. Okay, so that was a little bug here. So standing, so this is how I'm going to make an NPC. I'm just going to set the standing frame to down. And in the script, well, basically I'm just going to check if this works now. I'm going to place the NPC, this is the player spawner. We're going to instantiate our NPC. And we should see the text in our debug window down there. Player interacted with NPC. Okay. So we want the character to freeze so that we can transfer control to the dialogue. So as before, I get 3 root propagate notification freeze. Maybe I can include a special freeze for dialogues, but so far this is just going to freeze the player. Oops. Oh, it's not declared in current scope. So now my player is frozen, meaning we can transfer control to something else. So for this we'll need a dialog box. So I will need to make a new scene. It's going to be user interface. I'm going to change type to canvas. This will put it on a separate layer by default. We'll set this into code. We'll add a child node. Probably want a text edit, right? It's not editable, not selectable. Oh, hang on, maybe there's something else. Oops. Maybe there's a better node for this. So control, we have containers, we have text edit, we have code edit. Paste button. Item list. A control for this plain text, except it's not very versatile. Tree. Texture the rectangle. Oh, this one is perfect actually for displaying custom sides and edges. So we'll do this and we reparent the text edit. Yeah. So I'm just gonna not touch this right now. I know I'm going to need it. And texture the rectangle. We want this to be somewhat big. Maybe I should rescale this stuff to be compatible with 16 pixels, divisible by 16 pixels. Context menu shortcut keys, we deselect everything. Auto wrap word smart, maybe. So when I run this scene, it's gonna be this, it's clickable. And we are going to look at documentation. I think I want a rich text label. Oh. Yeah, okay. This one goes away. Rich text label. Tab size, context menu enabled, shortcut keys off. There's a reason why I'm using this special one. Way back, I've actually made a dialog box for Godot2, and this is exactly what I'm gonna do here, except I'm just gonna code it from scratch again. This time I'm just going to This time I'm just going to do that while recording, so that you can maybe understand how this works. It's very simple. I'm just trying to find something that locks the child in place. Oh, right here. There it is. So I want it to be here, down, so that when I instantiate it, I don't have to position this properly. But if I want it to scale with the project size, the window, for example, piecing handles, aspect key, resizable. Okay, I want it to be resizable and keep everything. So if I resize this, I should be able to. Yeah. So you can resize this however you want. Without it stretching the stuff. I don't want that. I want people to be able to see as much as they can. Okay, so back to our help. Okay, well, I'm gonna set this in a script. Dialog box, create. There we are. We set scroll following to true. Scroll following. Oh, wrong class. Never mind. I'll set this here. following to true, and that's fine. Oh, here it is. Okay, found it. So I don't need to set this in code, but I still wanna keep the reference. Auto wrap, shortcuts, contact menu. And what I want here is basically handle input. We'll just free it, and 3. Here we unfreeze the player, so you can move. And ideally, set text. We just set the text. I'm gonna animate the text because it's nicer. But for now, I'm just checking if it works. Parse error. Okay. And now we go back to NPC. We preload it. Dialog instantiate. I know it's written dialogue, but whatever. You can make a dialog box appear, and it doesn't. Oh. Where do we place this? Let me run this again. And in base window. Okay. So we get the tree, and then we have to get the first node or whatever is the root node. The root is the window. The back button doesn't work properly here. Okay. I'm going to use my debugger here for a sec. Get tree scene tree, get root is root, it's the window. It's not gonna help much. Should have scrolled automatically, but whatever. I messed up the auto scroll. I think I did. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so the window has Okay, so we need to get the last child because the first children are the singletons. So I have to go here. I got the dialog box. This is probably better in the global functions. Okay, get main node, I'm going to call this the main node, which is the root node. And it's going to be get tree, get root, get children. Get tree, get root. Get node count. Okay, that's okay. Let's see. Okay. Windows and node. Okay. Get child counters. That's what I wanted. Get child count. Node get main. Alpha. Wonderful. This should work in any scene. So it should work here too. There we go. Works. The other nodes would be global nodes. I mean singletons. And this is, yeah, this is kind of silly. But, you know, Godot JavaScript is kind of silly in general. Okay, that's why I put it in my pseudo library called global. So I can access it from anywhere. And I need to access it from dialog box. Oops, that's not it. NPC, right? Yeah. Global is accessible globally, so that's why I don't need to use get node. Previously you had to anyway. So I had to just get the node like that, but this is a lot nicer. So I'm thankful they made a lot of changes to JavaScript. Node get main, not child developer. This should work. And it doesn't. Oh, whoops. Box. Yep. Okay. Seems like it wanted to show itself, but okay. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to have to cut that out. This creates the instance. That's the instance. That's the name. Is it hidden or something? Oh, something here. UI confirm doesn't exist. Oh, it's UI accept, okay. Oh, so it kind of errors out, that's why nothing was showing. It's actually nice that it's an error that stops the game, because otherwise you wouldn't know. Oh. Maybe it gets freed too fast. Oh, no. Hang on, how did I... Okay, if I do this, okay, this should show up, right? The text should show. Okay, I don't think I see it because everything's white. So let's let's try this here. Oh, no. That's probably why nothing's showing. Where's this guy? Yeah, okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, well, it works. Player cast collision, it's not good. So I actually need to disable the player more properly. Huh. I'm not pausing anything, so I don't need this here anymore. Instantiate box, maybe instantiate box. And why is it not showing? Why is it not freeing itself? It didn't redialogues it, I think that's why. Okay, maybe we need to modify the player a little. and not is frozen. Okay, let's just do this. Maybe it gets unfrozen too fast. Yeah, it gets unfrozen way too fast. Maybe it makes sense to pause everything except the dialogue. So here is where you deal with the process stuff. Here's inherit pausable. This means that it can be paused. This can process only when it's paused, and this is always. Disabled means it will never run. So we want always here. And for this, we do want to cause a freeze of the player because the player doesn't pause. No. The player doesn't pause. I have to do this. Now we can perform some basic tests. Like this. I have a global instance. We should probably freeze and block input. Right, I don't unfreeze it. It's way too fast. Okay. What if I do this? Will this break? It's still throwing a context check. It's just doing it too fast. That's the issue. We'll check rate, disable the raycast itself. Let's see. There should be something like enabled here. And this is gonna go. I don't want to rely on timers, that's why I'm doing this so convoluted. Okay, this works. And now I can't interact with anything. Because I need to turn this on, and it won't work, I'm assuming. Oh, it still works. Okay. So, seems like we found a way to do this properly. This is not necessary then, I think. So I'm glad we have a global accessible player, because this would require me to get it anyway. Just turn off his raycast and turn it on once the event dissipates. Cool. Neat, huh? And it only took like what? Almost like 1 hour. It's not yet animated, but it pauses the player. You can even pause the game probably, which is probably a good idea. I should do that too. Get 3 set paused. In the dialog box, set paused 0. Okay. Typo or bad variable name. Okay. This pauses everything. So everything that's pausable will get paused. So enemies should be pausable in this instance. Okay, now an interesting thing, one more thing. We want the NPC to say, for example, two things. And for that, we need to add data and object ID, string name that's supposed to be constant. So NPC default. And here we do data spoken to equals false, and on activate data spoken to true. So now our save data will have NPC default spoken to true, and we can check something when you interact with him for the first time. You can say one thing. When you interact with him the second time, you see another thing. You could use this, you could use that as an index if you wanted many things, and then you have to build an array of stuff you want him to say. So with this, I'm gonna go save game, global game save, and save data, and NPC default spoken to is false. Am I not saving something? Oh, right. It has to be created differently. It has to be here. Because we overwrite our loaded data. If it was here, it would be fine. So again, so this should now work. Spoken to true, yeah. Okay, that's a very basic interaction. I haven't made it animated yet, but I will eventually. I'm just taking a break and I'm gonna do some other stuff. So for now, thanks for watching. See you next time.